What is the best letter of the alphabet?
S.
A.
Q. No, K. K.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
One more K and that would have been scary.
Yeah, that would have been. That was really close.
I was saying Q, but then I said K.
Well,
That's what happened.
you can't have Q without U, so then that would suck.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I think that's
because
only.
you can't say Q because there's U in it.
No. She's saying like
No, Q
every
and U.
Q word has a U in it. I remember
Oh.
hearing
Yeah,
that.
because Q and U got married, remember?
Like queen.
Quarter.
Queen.
Whoa. You say
I couldn't think of another one.
quarter.
Yeah.
Quit. Quack.
Yeah.
Wait,
Quote.
are you serious?
Yeah, Q. Remember I told you Rian in school, my
Yeah, I
nephew
remember
that.
is learning
But,
about
like,
how
I
Q and
thought-
U
That might
got
only
married?
be in English though.
I mean,
Wait,
okay,
are you
duh,
serious?
for us. Like, what kind of statement is that?
Like quesadilla.
Dude.
Wait, no,
what?
that has a U.
queso even.
Okay, why K?
Quan.
Why K?
Oh, why K? Because I love K. Like K has a lot of
Whoa.
like good energy, like very it has this like chop. Like I don't know how to explain.
Are you thinking of karate?
No, but also no.
Is that
It's
really why?
There's no round shapes.
Yeah.
It's just also I'm thinking about writing it, and it's just like and it's so
That's like
cool.
an H
It's
too,
such a
though.
cool letter.
Yeah. Well, I
H,
feel like
no. H is very boxed in. H is so, and also like H words like Horton,
What about
Horton.
Why did you skip over happy to say Horton?
happy. It's like all soft words.
Ho.
Yeah.
All right, you didn't have to call us that. That was unnecessary. But okay, with letters,
Uh-huh.
they definitely
Are you looking
Make
at
you
it like
feel a little
visually or is it like the sound
visually
of it?
and sound wise,
Okay.
like what? Like, give me yours. What was yours?
I said S.
S.
Why?
My letter of my first name. And I think S is just, it has like a very sharp sound
Mm-hmm.
and it's so sharp that it carries its own frequency, right? I'm gonna be a little nerdy here.
Okay.
De-esser.
You need a de-esser. We've
Okay.
actually been working a lot with it, where it's such a harsh noise that you actually have to tone it down because it's so powerful.
You know, the S is very limited in who can use it.
Why?
Because if you have a lisp,
Oh, yeah. So is that like an elite thing only? Not saying if you have a list or not.
Mike
elite.
Tyson doesn't know what you're talking about, actually.
yeah, because
His letter is called Eth.
was he born like speaking like that?
What do you think? He got punched in the mouth? And
I
then
used to have a
he got
lisp.
Yeah,
I
he's
used
always
to
talking
have
like that.
one.
You used to have a lisp?
Uh-huh. And then I
What
started.
happened? You got punched in the mouth?
No,
When
I
first-
purposely started pulling my tongue back.
Do you think most people can do that?
I don't know.
Well, there's speech therapists, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It just depends.
I trained myself because I used to say eth and I'd be like sister. And I was like, and then so now my S's are like super like,
You could have been like Mike Tyson.
You still have slightly something there.
I do,
There's
I do.
something there. I'm not sure what. It's not like a lisp, but it's like a. What's it called?
I
It's
know
so
what
messed
it
up.
is
People with
because-
lisp can't say lisp.
Yeah. And then I saw this TikTok. There was like a guy who said
Lisp.
the word stutter has 3 T's in it. And there was like a bunch of other ones that he had like that,
That's so messed up.
but it makes no sense.
Who did that?
you know,
Who's using words?
I
that
think it's
make it
messed up.
complicated?
Okay, I know that I had the lisp because my tongue is too big for my
Wait.
mouth.
Another one, phonetic. Phonetic is not phonetically spelled.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I didn't come up with this. The
Yeah.
TikToker. I wish I knew his name, but
Yeah.
That makes me a little upset.
and the word for like the phobia of really long words is a really long word.
Huh.
Yeah, they were all in that one.
That's messed up.
Interesting.
You said A?
What was your letter?
I said A only because, not because it's my letter, which I mean, you know, that's a pretty good reason by itself.
Actually, out of everybody in this room, A is not your letter. It's my letter. I have 2 A's in my last name.
And your first name.
I have 2 A's in my first name.
But
Oh, yeah.
I have
But-
2 A's in my first name.
That's together.
But you
He has
guys
them
aren't
together, too.
A-privileged.
Oh yeah, his
Me and
last names.
My siblings and I, we've always been first in everything
Yeah,
we
but
did in school.
yeah, you got first in it, blah blah blah. But then
Isn't
you
that
just sit
annoying?
through everybody else's.
Isn't that
Yeah,
annoying?
I
It
would.
gives you- it
I would
actually-
hate to be the first one.
No. We get to
Well, you
get
get
our
over it.
awards, get everything, and leave first.
Yeah, you get over
No,
it.
you gotta wait for everybody. You can't leave
You
in the
don't have
middle of
to?
your graduation.
We left.
Well,
You
early
can't
in a
leave the
ton of things.
procession.
Well, like if they have to do like a speech or something and it's like last name order, like they go first and they're over with.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
no like anxiety attached.
The
to
hype
it.
But okay, I don't know what
You
it
also
is.
build confidence.
But it makes double
'Cause you're
A's
like, I have to go
together
first.
Yep.
always piss me off.
The double letters.
Yeah, the
Why?
double A's specifically, especially in first names,
like Aaron.
like Aaron. No, and but like also like sometimes people will try to do it with like my brother's name is Ahmad, right? People used to try, spell it A. There's other people who have his name and they put AA. Or like it'll be like Ayan and people put AA and nothing more makes me upset than that. Last name, I think it's fine. Okay, let me say why my favorite letter, favorite.
A is your favorite letter.
There we go. It's because if you look at my list of baby names, it runs a mile long with A names for some reason because they just sound so pretty to me. Now, growing up, if you asked me this question, I would have said L because I really like the way that like Lily, Lilia, like Lila, like all those
How
types
it
of
rolls
names.
off the tongue.
Yeah,
That
it was
sounds-
always really beautiful to me, the way that
Soft.
the L's one sound. But as I grew up and I continue to jot down baby names, A just seems to be the trend.
Nice. Thank you guys for tuning in to an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shamir.
I'm Faras with a nice big F.
My name is Amber.
And this is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. If you'd like to email us or send us your music, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to get this awesome merch from our store, you can go to strangeflavors.store. And if you'd like to support this podcast and be part of Strange Flavors Town, you can. Woo woo. Can we get a woo woo?
Woo woo!
Strange Flavors Town includes
Party!
Bob's
Yes.
Bagels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Irha's Ices, Fria's Falafels, Aslam's Apples, Shamil's Shawarmas. So if you'd like to join and be part of Strange Flavors Town and be on our wonderful board right here, which actually has some decorations,
Yeah.
there's a link down below.
There's limited spots left on this board.
Yeah, so get it
Guys,
while you can.
So get them while you can.
Guys, we have franchises wanting to be a part of Flavor Town.
What are you talking about?
That's facts.
We got Krusty
I
Krab.
don't know.
Krusty Krab? Wait,
No
from the SpongeBob?
way.
The Krusty Krab?
That sounded offensive the way you said it.
What did I say?
Krusty Krab. Like the crab is crusty.
And then we also got,
We got the Chum Bucket.
The
Chum Bucket
Chum
is
Bucket.
underrated.
would you eat
I
there?
mean, I think the Krusty Krab is overrated. Because isn't the secret patty formula thingy, isn't it just
you
crab?
don't know it. You don't know it.
It's crab.
I thought that was a
Why would it be? Why would Mr. Krabs be selling
Exactly.
No.
That's why it's a secret
his own? Where did you
formula.
say, Amber? Are you on like Nickelodeon conspiracy?
Yeah.
Wikipedia?
There's so many conspiracies on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So, but who knows?
I think that it is.
Wait, but the one that was about SpongeBob being gay is true.
Why?
that
guys
wasn't a
see-
conspiracy.
How is that?
That
You know,
was just
that
like
was-
that was just like a
An
announcement.
observation?
No, it was an announcement.
No, it was.
wait, why? Why did
no,
they
no,
need it?
like it was made official just recently.
Yeah.
But for a while, it was a conspiracy.
Okay.
So they
I
always
didn't
from the jump thought that SpongeBob was gay?
A lot of people did, but he never said it.
Well, I just kind of considered him gender neutral. Like he was male.
Amber, you were not 7 years old. Like I think SpongeBob is you
no,
didn't even
it's
know
like
what that
okay,
was.
you know what I'm saying? Like like Blue's Clues. Like
you don't
just,
think about the dog.
Yeah, you don't think about how it's like a boy or a girl.
Yes,
but
you do.
apparently
As
it was
a kid- when
but
we were kids-
apparently
Oh no, but
Blue?
they had the pink one. They had the
Yes.
pink
no,
one.
exactly.
but Blue's Clues is actually a girl.
He is?
She
is.
yeah.
No, they literally would say she when referring to blue.
Are you serious?
Blue is a girl.
So what about the pink one?
That's a she
Magenta's
as well.
also a girl. But Blue was a
Dang,
girl.
What a twist.
Yeah.
That's a big twist.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, what about
What about
the
Steve?
Yeah.
I mean, he was. Wait,
He was
what's
just a
the question?
cokehead, I think.
Wait,
Wasn't
what
he
was the
like-
question?
Wasn't he
He's
like
a male, right?
I think he makes YouTube videos now.
He was in a band.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for calling you a cokehead. I don't know if that's actually true. I just
I think that
Okay.
was. Didn't they
Someone
say
else?
like he went to jail, but they said, "Oh, Steve is going to college," and then
see now we're doing the conspiracy
Yeah,
stuff.
conspiracy.
Anyways,
one more franchise.
Los Pollos Hermanos.
Who knows? Who knows?
If you know, you know.
You know. And I'm drinking out of the cup.
wow,
Dude, you just devalued our
I increased the value.
Collectibles.
Our
So we got
collectible
Shimmer
here.
Spit right up here.
Mm.
You'd like to
hit me up
Don't
if you're trying to
Dude.
buy it.
Los Pollos looked good. So
Oh, yeah.
It's from
Where
Breaking
did-
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
If you guys watch
Yeah.
the show,
And like the
one of
way
the best
that,
shows of all time
you know, my favorite part about it,
is Low Spoilers for Miles.
yeah, was no, that's not my favorite part about the show. I'm saying my favorite part was that Gus kept it so clean.
Gus was the guy who owned the franchise Los Pollos Hermanos, and he was actually
He owned a few stores.
he owned a few.
By the way, if you're listening, we have these little trinkets on our side table that that's on the.
trinket?
Wait, what are they called?
I don't know what that word is.
memorabilia.
No, what are they called?
Antiques.
I would not say trinket.
No,
Figurines,
No, there's a word
models.
for it. There's a word
I
for
just
it.
didn't like trinket.
Yeah, I don't like trinket. I like figurines and models better.
No, there's a word for it. Little things.
Action figures.
No,
Tchotchkes?
hold on. Knickknacks.
Toys.
They're knickknacks.
I'm
They're
not
not
saying
knickknacks.
knickknacks.
Knickknacks are like snacks.
No, they're not.
No, I
well,
think they're like
whoever
little-
called a knickknack
I think
a
knickknacks
snack?
are
My
like-
uncle does.
Wait, he says, have a knickknack?
He says, bring me the knickknacks, and you bring him like crackers and peanuts and stuff. I heard it from him for the first time, and I was like, okay, knickknacks.
No,
are snacks.
knickknacks are definitely little
I
things.
think they're smaller. I think it's like
smaller than this.
smaller. Yeah.
I think it's
They're definitely decorations.
it's a
by the
universal
way.
word for things that are many things.
Decorations. Just decorations.
No, they're
That's
they're
literally
for
what
us.
we're using them for.
Knickknacks has never been used for food, by the way.
Knick-knack.
They're only
paddywhack,
for decorations.
Dugabone.
First of all,
But yeah, okay, we have these little like things on our side table. And I really, really, really want a Good Burger here. So if anybody can send us a link to a cute, small little Good Burger thingy, that would be highly appreciated.
or recommendations.
Or
of,
recommendations.
Other
A Hot
restaurant
Wheels
shows.
Good Burger.
Oh, yeah.
or
bar.
if you want to send us something, let us know.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love to have your stuff.
You guys, oh yeah. Let's
us
not
that
pay
shit.
for it. Let's have someone else pay. No.
Nah.
No, if you want to, like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Cute.
Yo, so the other day, so we get home from this podcast pretty late, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And that day, the last time we recorded a podcast, you know, it was pretty late. All of us, we live in safe neighborhoods. God bless. But when I got home, the last time we were doing a podcast, right? I was on the phone with my friend and I saw this guy, you know, in front of my house. He was shining a flashlight in like our bedroom windows. And then I was like, hold up, Mark. Something's going on. And I didn't know who the guy was.
Mhm.
And then he's doing it like to a few other houses close by. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on? And it's like this big, like shadowy figure. And I didn't know who it is and what they want. And then this like van pulls up behind me. And I was like, yo, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I gotta go. He's like, no, don't go.
Yeah, you should definitely stay on the phone.
But I don't like that because I feel like if I keep talking, then, you know, if something's about to go down, they're gonna hear me. I was like, I'm just gonna turn off the car. I'm gonna turn off my phone.
Why don't you
I'm
drive
gonna sit
away?
there. Well, I was parked,
Okay.
and then the van is behind me, and then the guy is in front of me.
Oh my God.
So now I gotta come up with a plan. All right, do I open the door, throw my keys at him, run this way?
Throw your keys at him?
Yeah, throw some sort of distraction. I could tell he's slow. You know when you can tell somebody's slow? He's
Yeah.
slow. So I was like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna put my chin up. I'm gonna walk into my house, and he's not gonna say or do anything. I don't care. I open my door,
Oh my God.
and one of the doors open
From the van.
from the house.
Oh.
No. And it's my neighbor, Ahmed, who is our friend. You've seen him on the vlogs.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yo, Ahmed. And he's like, he comes out, he's peeking. He's like, what? What happened? I was like, did you see that? He's like, what? I was like, somebody's like shining light like at our houses. What's going on? And he's like, oh, they are? And then he closes the door. And I was like, Ahmed, where are you going? And then I'm like, okay, I got to make a run for it. Because the guy, he's actually walking the other way now. And so I'm like, okay, this is my chance. I got to get in the
Yeah.
house, grab a weapon, right?
Wait,
So
what?
then-
No, get in the house and lock the door.
Well, there's a danger outside. Anyways, so I start making a run for it. Then Ahmed opens his door again. He starts running. I was like, what are you doing?
Wait, why is he running?
He's
There's-
running?
Yeah, he starts running towards
what?
the guy.
Wait,
Oh.
why is he running
I was
towards
like,
the
Ahmed,
guy?
what are you doing? And he goes, that's my DoorDash. Bro, when I tell you, I was like, are you kidding me?
I'm dead.
And I was like, what is this man doing shining a flashlight? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I was looking for the house number.
Wait,
I'm
what?
like, my guy, this is not the way to do it.
You use your car lights.
And I'm like, Emma, it's like 3 a.m. What are you doing ordering DoorDash? Bro, I was hungry. I was like, man, I thought I was in my head like Liam Neeson. I'm like, okay, I'll call the house, tell my brother, like, you get ready at the front door. I'm going to distract him. Then you bang him in the back of the head. He falls. We call the police. We're heroes.
Ross, you think that you're the main character so bad.
It's not about being a main character. It's about preventing further harm.
By doing main
you
character
would be
actions.
providing yourself, by doing main character actions, but like you should have gotten your butt inside the house and locked the door. You're like, let me go inside so I can get a weapon so I can protect
So I
myself.
can save my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Listen to me. If I went inside, I would have had the biggest anxiety attack of what's going to happen now. Because
Why would your hero self
Either I
not
can
call
stop-
the cops?
either
if
I
you're
can
that
stop
bad?
this-
Wait. Let me ask you this. Were you planning to grab the weapon and go back outside or stay inside in case they came after you?
if I don't know where the danger is, how can I stop the danger? If I stop the danger,
So which is
there is
it?
no more danger.
So what? Okay, hold
So
on.
whi-
Let's just ask him this. What were you going to do when you got your weapon?
Well, I was going to threaten him. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, now
Why are
I'm
you
on their
flashing
side.
lights?
Why are you being all hero? Like, nah.
If you come outside with a baseball bat and this man's like, I was just doing DoorDash.
Guys, I'm being serious. If you go inside, then it doesn't go away if there was a real threat.
Yeah, it's
For
like
us, the threat would not be solved by you. You would need to call a cop.
Because, okay, I would call the police, but I'd have to be looking at him the whole time. And I can't look at him unless he's still. And the way to get him still, I need to either threaten him or bring him down.
how fast was he moving?
He was like the hash-slinging slasher.
It seems like he's a bad DoorDasher.
He was.
Like, you can't find
well, I
the-
felt bad because he was
The house.
he was like an old guy.
Oh, he's an old guy.
He's
You're
like
about to
old
beat
and
up
really
an
Wait,
old
big
why
guy.
is he DoorDashing at 3 a.m.?
Because Am would probably order. He's probably
You know,
get
you
that
know,
bank.
But he
you know,
chose
Amber,
to be
times
up.
are tough. Times are tough.
They do make good money, and if you're one of the few
They
people
probably
in the
do
middle of the
tip.
night, that's probably
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of money.
There's a lot of old people I've seen working some jobs that I just feel bad. Like the other day,
Yeah.
my mom got some flowers delivered to her, and this old lady, I'm talking about the chocolate lady from SpongeBob,
shit.
comes by the door, and she has this huge thing of flowers, and I'm like, oh, let me grab that. She's like, I got the door. Don't worry, honey. I was like, ma'am, you're about to die. Like in my head, I was like, no, like she was about to fall over
Oh my God.
trying to hold this door and the vase. I was like, who has you doing this? And then I was trying to tell my brother what was going on. I was like, you should see this lady. And then he was like, well, she's probably gone by now. I was like, no, she's probably walking to her van. And she was. It was like 10 minutes later. And then she's like backing up slowly and then driving away. I was like, man,
Did
like,
she have a flashlight too?
no, it was daytime.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't Emma call the DoorDasher instead of running after him?
I don't know. I was mad at Emma more than anybody in that situation because this is inappropriate.
Okay, I don't know why this is going to sound messed up, but you said a running story and it just quickly reminded me. This is irrelevant, but we were coming back from Deep Creek the other day and we're like on a major highway, like a huge highway. And we're just driving probably like an hour into the drive. And all of a sudden I see like a figure on the side running really quickly, like really fast. And I was like, wait, be careful. I was telling the driver, I was like, be careful, you're about to hit it. They're like, yeah, I see the truck. I was like, no, you're about to hit it. And they were like, yeah, I see the truck. And I was like, you're about to hit it. And we were maybe 3 inches away. It was a cow sprinting on a highway.
And you're trying to yell at the cow that you're about to hit the.
I'm trying to tell the driver.
Oh.
And he's talking about a truck on the road and he's maybe like 3 inches away. Like the mirror was 3 inches away. Well, first of all, I've never seen a cow sprint.
Yeah, I was just
How
trying to
fast
think
are
of
you guys
that.
going?
Bro, the cow was sprinting for its life.
Are you sure it was a cow?
I swear. I called the cops
Some
right
people
away.
be looking like cows.
Wait, how fast were you guys going?
We were going like 60, 65.
And then, no, a cow?
Amber.
No, we passed
Amber.
the cow. We passed the cow.
Amber,
Okay.
sometimes it's okay to exaggerate a story a little bit for like the.
For us, the cow wasn't keeping up with
The
us.
cow is not going 65 miles an hour.
We drove past it, but the cow was going like really fast.
It's a Tesla cow.
No, but listen, the cow was sprinting like literally like arms, legs out, sprinting. Never seen a cow sprint.
This cow got nitros in its udders.
I called the cops and I was like, there's a cow sprinting on the side of the highway.
Why'd you call the cops on the cow?
That's where you should have got a weapon and beat it.
They're about to start. The cow's about to start protesting.
Wait, what? Beat it. I was trying to get it saved.
You should have done what Frost did. You guys should have switched what you guys did.
Listen, the shoulder was ending and the way that the cow was running, it was going to run into traffic and get killed.
We're just carrying the cow.
Call the cops.
I'm not
Cow Karen over here.
I'm not calling the cops on the cow. I'm calling the cops for the cow.
Free my man cow.
I didn't want the cow to get hurt. And so they were like, yeah, we've gotten...
You should have captured it. That drone fast.
No, let me tell you, it was faster than that.
Amber.
It was so much
first of all,
faster.
That's going like 10 miles per hour.
It was going
Yikes.
way faster. Listen, so they were like, yeah, we've actually gotten a lot of calls about the cow
Scientist
already.
pulls up a cow running video for reference.
They were like,
Just to
we've
show
already
how
gotten a lot
bad the
of
story is.
calls about the cow already. And they're like, we're sending a team to go round it up.
All right. You don't need a team.
No, they
The cops be
did.
doing too much too.
The cow was so fast.
The cops are like some action.
And they didn't know how to... Never mind. I'm done. Why'd I share the good stories with y'all?
Man, you're gonna cause a police brutality case against the cows.
Bro, I was trying to save the cow, not call the cops on the cow. I'm calling it for the cow.
You know how the cows have the sign that say "Eat more chicken"? It's now they're gonna have other signs because
Free my man's cow.
Free my man's, yeah. Because of what's going on with them, yeah.
I would buy that t-shirt. Free my man's cow.
Yeah, I would too, because apparently I'm the one who caused it.
What's your story that happened recently?
After last podcast, I don't know if you guys heard, but
Ross got secretly engaged.
Ross got secretly engaged.
What the heck? Why is this bad?
So
We had an anonymous tip come in.
anonymous tip came in,
Nuh-uh.
and
Yeah.
they forced us to kind of speak about this
Yeah,
tip.
and now we have to discuss this topic.
Wait. Anonymous tip came into you?
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Yo, what is this?
And they wanted us to ask you so directly a question.
Yo, I'm leaving.
And the question is,
I'm leaving.
No. Come back.
the question is, why were you such an F-boy?
That's the tip.
You looking like an F-boy.
We got a picture of you
We got a picture of you from prom.
from prom.
Who sent it to you?
Don't worry about it.
But Frost be looking really cute.
Wait, let me see the picture. Let me
No,
see the
don't
picture.
show him. Don't show him. Don't show him. Because I think it'll
We'll
make it
describe
obvious.
it. Isan, do you think you can describe this?
Yeah.
He looks like one of those fuckboy brown people from high school who were in all the prom pictures and in all
He was
in the
a
sports and
homecoming king,
everything.
right?
What?
Were you
Was
not?
it? No. It was we left homecoming. No, spring something.
Oh, the
spring
Sadie
one.
Hawkins?
No, we didn't have that.
Spring
I was
form?
one of
That picture right there looks like it's straight from prom.
It
Like,
is.
you,
It
you,
is
you
from
probably
prom.
got your
Do I have
girlfriend
a
with
crown
you,
on?
No.
and then a
Okay.
side chick like over in the back somewhere. She's probably taking the picture.
Who's doing this? I don't like this at all.
This is not even that bad.
For you had...
No. I don't like that. I say something on the podcast and you have tips coming in.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have it like that now.
Yeah. That's
This
how
is-
it'd be. Anyone else have Frost tips? Let us
Send
know.
them in.
Send them in.
I'm telling you guys right now, if this behavior continues, I'm not going to share awesome stories anymore. Okay?
Uh-huh.
You could
Next-
just encourage tips for everyone else. on the
Next,
podcast.
you're going to have the DoorDasher on the podcast.
Oh, we love
Yeah.
to.
I'll bring the cow on the podcast.
Wait, so what made you get this haircut?
It's a faux hawk, right?
Yeah, it's like a nice faux hawk.
It looks like you put a helmet on your
You
head
got
and then
a
you took
nice
it off.
corsage on you. That's a corsage, right? The flower thing.
Yeah.
You got a nice, beautiful flower on you.
Do I look handsome?
He has a bow tie
You do look
on and a
handsome.
vest.
Thank you.
And you look very happy.
Yeah.
You look very happy. Like
He looks like every brown kid that went to...
post-engagement happiness.
Oh, post-engagement happiness.
All right.
My man just got engaged. He's smiling.
accidental engagement.
Accidental engagement.
This is...
You
this
guys
is
are
great.
funny. You know that?
Yeah.
You know what?
If you have any more tips from Faras at any point, go ahead and send them in. But
know
this
what?
was great.
You know what? It's not like something. Oh, I see the photo now. I mean, it's not like anything that I wouldn't. What's it called? Like I thought it was gonna be something that
Yeah, I know.
I would not see coming, like something.
No,
Like-
we wouldn't do that.
We
to you.
no, we were hoping for it. We definitely asked for
No, like something that I could not clarify,
Oh,
as in like it would not be the truth or something, and like
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, oh,
okay. So
do I even say
but
about this?
So you agree? You were a fuckboy.
no, I wasn't. I just look
Do you
like
believe
one.
him, Shamir?
I just
Yeah, I
look like
believe him.
one. I was okay.
He looks like one though.
Yeah.
What I don't even wait. What year is this? Senior year, right? By senior year, one, I'm like friendly with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't.
Were you one of those people who was like an asshole to other brown girls our age?
No, I've always been.
Why do you think he's like that?
My personal
know.
triggers are coming out.
I was the only time I was like really rude and full of ego and stuff was when I was really little.
Hmm.
And that, like throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, like I was probably very insecure and shy. Why? Like you say, you say
Damn,
that.
all the pity comments.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm such a shy boy.
Oh my god.
What do you want me to say? Like I wasn't what you think. I wasn't like going around getting girls.
You said that you were
You want me to-
popular.
You want me to say I wasn't? No, even the Prince thing that I won, I didn't apply for it. I didn't know I was in
Right.
it. Like people just voted for me.
Okay, and that's the definition of being popular, not a shy boy, not a da da da.
No. But the reason was also like people don't like other people, and sometimes they'll give you a vote because it's like, oh, like I'm not gonna vote for them. I'm not gonna vote for them. Oh, he's a good guy. Like he's nice.
Bruh, I would never have like literally if we were friends in high school, we wouldn't be friends in high school. Like if we knew each
I
other.
think we would. I think we would be friends.
I don't think so. I don't think you would be friends with me.
If you did anything that was just annoying, where it's just like too much, I probably would like ignore you or like,
well,
but I wouldn't be like, oh, Amber is this. Like I
When I
never put
tell
anybody
you,
on blast. I don't
brown
think so.
boys in high school, like they just needed to wait for us to glow up, but I swear they thought they were better than us in high school.
I heard,
They were so strong after the white girls, they did not give us the time of day.
Amber, you speak way too generally, first of all.
I know. That is a problem.
There was this one girl that like in middle school, my friends and I like we made a project and like made fun of her in some way. And that was like the worst thing that I did to someone.
You made it a project?
Like there was a project and there was like a joke in there, which I didn't know was like a really like it would hurt her in some way. I thought it was like a funny joke or whatever. And yeah, like she got really upset about it. Like I had to go to the principal's office. Like my dad was called and all this stuff. And I was just like, damn, like I
This
didn't
is
know.
him trying to tell us he's a nice guy. He's like, yeah.
Send him more tips. Send him more tips. Then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not like that, yo.
I'm just kidding. So
You
this
want me
wasn't
to
that
be-
bad, but we were just prompting the audience to know that if you have information, we are collecting it.
I liked your
Your
fear.
reward is, I know, I like the
I
fear.
was
one.
legit scared that like something that I don't. What scares me is
You
what
know
I
what's
don't
crazy,
know.
Shamir?
Yeah.
That reaction makes me feel like there's something
Oh.
that we could find out about that he's worried that we would find out about.
There's really not. It's
For us,
just that,
reaction,
That
you
reaction.
had
The-
one foot out the door, not even this door, the front door.
you know how like when you guys try to plan birthdays and stuff, like it literally eats me alive that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That is me all the time. I don't know how you guys don't know that yet, but like it literally kills me when I don't know something that like involves me because I need to know everything. I don't know why
So
I'm like
don't
that.
We
plan
need to-
surprise birthday parties or something?
No,
Yes,
yeah,
don't.
he hates
really
that.
hates it.
I-
He
That's,
really
that's
that's
hates
why we
that.
have to do it.
Yeah, that's facts.
One time somebody got me like some gifts and I like rejected them because I was like, I don't want these. And then they started crying. And then their mom had to get involved and was like, you need to accept the gifts.
Yeah, because that's messed up. You don't not accept gifts.
It just, I don't know why, it just makes me really, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Send in a tip. Some psychologist out there, send a tip.
I have one for you. Paranoia.
Yeah, it is that.
Why'd you say it like that?
Well, it'd be like that. Like, you know how earlier we talk about, what is the whole DoorDash situation?
Yeah,
paranoia.
That's true.
Guys, on
The
the
cow
real
situation. No, I don't know what that was. That was psychosis or something schizophrenic.
like I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'll be at my mosque, like looking at the doors and exits and stuff.
And thinking somebody's about to bust in.
if someone did, like, what's the go-to action? Who do I protect? It's not about being a hero. I swear to God. It's just about like, I just need a plan.
No, I get
Yeah.
that.
I need to plan. I need to be ready. And I need to like, in situations like that, while everybody's like scrambling and running around, figuring out what to do, a lot of people go in shock. In death, a lot of people go in shock. I no longer go in shock. It's because I just
you're
like
in shock just
Well,
now.
that's because you're in shock. That's because you're in shock all
I was
other minutes.
I'm in shock at all times,
Except for when it's time to be in shock.
That's why I can't sleep. Sometimes I just be like thinking about things about like, okay, like if this were to happen, I like literally plan out so many things in my head, and sometimes they happen, and then it's just like, I'm ready.
Right now would be a great time for a BetterHelp sponsorship for therapy. But, you know.
Sponsor us.
Yeah. So if you're BetterHelp, go ahead and sponsor us.
Yeah.
But in the
Amber's seeing
meantime,
cows run too fast, so we need some help.
in the meantime, if you need to see a therapist, please do so. Please don't be in every moment of your life thinking
Are you
something's
talking to me?
No, what? Please don't be sitting there thinking about you have like something about a busting through the door and what you need to do next at every moment.
Listen, it keeps
And
me
being going in life being scared of DoorDash drivers.
it keeps me alive. It keeps a little thrill, a little edge on everything.
I'm gonna order DoorDash next time we're here.
I'm not scared of DoorDash. Yo, that's why they call them Door Dashers. This guy was not dashing though. Not in the
was
physical
dashing.
way. Let's talk about something else. Enough about this. It's making me paranoid. So you guys saw Malala.
That's a long conversation you're having over there.
It's with my sister
Okay.
because we talk about these things. My sister and I have a separate podcast.
Over text.
Over just life. But no, she sent it to me because Malala made the Vogue cover. Really beautiful cover. Really nice.
Beautiful red all over.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And it's a big deal, you know? Malala, she's this young person.
She's what, 23? Pakistani?
Yeah.
If you don't know, she was the one that got shot in the head, in the face by the Taliban and
For
survived
going
the
to
attack.
school, right?
And then she went on to win a Nobel Peace Prize because of all the work she'd been doing, continued on from her dad regarding women's rights and all these things. Now she lives in the UK. After this article came out, there was a few headlines in like, Pakistan especially, and it was quoting one part of the article.
Oh.
And she says in the article, I don't understand why people get married. Why can't we live together as partners without marriage? And this is the conversation that's been going around about this article. Now, I told you guys to read the article. How long was the article?
Article's really long.
Super long. And honestly, that part was the very last paragraph, and it was a very minuscule part of the article.
What worries me about something like this is that, first of all, how quickly we share something without, reading it, right? Okay, so this is from a Vogue article. Let me go see what the context is, right? Because even when I read this on its own, it's like, well, what does she mean by that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't you wonder immediately, like, she says, I don't understand why people get married. Why can't we live together as partners without marriage? Malala didn't just come out and just like stand on a mic and was like, we shouldn't get married.
Yeah.
Bye. There obviously is a lot of context behind it, right?
Yeah.
This is the same thing, if you guys remember, we discussed it, that happened to Harry Styles. He was also on Vogue, and everybody blew up the part about him wearing feminine clothing. That's typically feminine, right? The skirts and all of that.
Yeah.
And he talked about it in a very small part of the article, which is another really long article. The rest of the article is beautiful. It talks about how creative he is, his upbringing, all these things.
Right.
In the same way, Malala, she was talking about all the things that she's been going through since having this huge sort of pressure on her.
Yeah.
She's a young girl.
Also, a lot of it's like normal girl stuff. Like, oh yeah, I just graduated college.
Don't know what I'm going to do next. Just staying with my mom, eating her lamb curry.
Yeah, like, she got this huge Vogue cover, and it's basically kind of showing that, like, although she's had all these Nobel Peace Prize, all these, accomplishments, she's just like, oh, I'm just a normal girl. And I think, this little conversation at the end is being blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
The way that she said that part even was so nonchalant and non-conclusive. It was just kind of in It was just a thought, like, I don't know why things work like this almost.
Which a lot of kids nowadays, not even kids, but like people our generation, millennials, and maybe even Gen Z are thinking in the future, like marriage might not be like what we imagine it to be. And like, they're not even considering it.
To be honest, the way that she said it too, like I kind of felt that, like in a way. Only because if you take away the religious aspect to it, and which is what she's saying too, we have a strong religious connection to her because she is very visually Muslim.
Wears a hijab.
Yeah. And in the article, they talk about how she's wearing it around her neck and how she wears it out in public more as a cultural symbol than anything else.
No. Equally as a cultural symbol, because where she comes from, it's a traditional
symbol.
sort of thing.
Yeah, but she was saying that's a cultural symbol. She didn't say a religious symbol.
Not only religious, though.
Yeah. But she was saying it was for her, it was a cultural symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, when she went on to say in context, like, I don't even know how I feel about marriage. Like, part of me thinks that, we should just live like this or whatever. Sometimes, like, I'd be like, if I wasn't Muslim and I had these types of, connections in that way, like, how I was raised and how I'm wired, part of me would probably believe that too. Just because, that could be also just my marriage trauma talking, but still, like, I do feel like, there's this long process to marriage and there's a lot of beauty in it too. But there's this pressure on being married specifically for these girls, which she's saying herself, like, she gets all these like rishtas, whatever, with people with all these acres and whatever. And she's just a simple girl being like, I'm not sure if I want to do that. And I don't think there's really anything wrong with her stating such a simple opinion.
Well, even like right now, we're dissecting that thought, right? Which we don't know her intent behind it. But if you read the rest of the article, it talks about how she is in college and just wanting to like live. And she actually liked that, she wasn't the smartest there. There was people much smarter than her. And sometimes she just wanted to, watch TV and eat junk food and just like hang out with her friends. And she would go to bars where she wasn't drinking, but she just wanted to see the scene. Right. And so when you have all of that into context, it just tells me that she's just this young girl who got put in a position who could be ready for it, you know? And then now you're having to try to equally live your life in a way that tries to meet many people's expectations. Yeah. Okay, so we know the expectations that Pakistani people or Muslim people have on her. Think about, for example, being a Gen Z kid, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult to be that when you don't have the background, that like we might have on the West, okay? Obviously, she's gone to school in the UK and all of that, but like to try to adapt to what's normal, what's not, it's a very difficult thing to do. And, who does she have? Like that girl, Greta, right? Who does the, what's it called? Speaks up for climate change and all that. And so when she's doing all of these things where you don't you don't see her in just talking to these really, all these news channels and people of importance, quote unquote, and just doing like regular things or questioning things as she should be. Like, why are we so quick to just put it down? Yeah. If she herself is headed in such a great direction, if you want to see her become a leader, then you have to let her like explore and be curious.
There's also like a huge Malala hate train happening too, where people are like, Malala doesn't represent us with her saying that her scarf is just a cultural symbol. Like, you can take you and your cultural symbols and get out of here. And I just saw a huge hate train happening from Malala because they're like, in a way, stating that she kind of fell into the position that she did, and that then it was like giving her peace prize, and then she's set up for in this situation. Like, in a way, she didn't ask for it either. That was just kind of the trajectory of her life, and she chose positivity at most, points. But I think that taking this, a lot of Pakistanis don't like Malala because of the fact that she has these liberal views, and
and that's what I'm saying with the Gen Z thing, right? Like she'll befriend Mia Khalifa, and that's a very uncomfortable relationship for a lot of people because they're like, how does that make sense according to their values? And I think that she's trying her best. I think that a lot of people will say something like she's too cocky, or like the terms that we use in our culture is like, oh, she's very smart, chalak. Like and that's anytime a woman has a voice.
Yeah.
Really. Anytime a woman is speaking with some confidence, you'll call her chalak or smart.
That's facts.
And when she's speaking in that way, I admit that I have at times found her cringy, but like, what is my standard I'm holding her to? She's, like, it's okay. Like, she's not going to be perfect. Why do we expect her to be like a world leader at that age?
Yeah.
Right?
And why can't Malala just be Malala?
Yeah.
That's just who she is.
I
Even
don't
if she's
want to like stray away, but I saw some similarities, like, Obama's daughter, right? She would go to like college and stuff, and then it's like, oh, she's sitting there with a boy, and people are taking like pictures of her. And it's like, so?
Or I think somebody like threw her a hit, and she like took a hit of like a cigarette or something, whatever, and it was blown up.
People would always just take pictures of her randomly and be like, look at what she's doing. And it's like, she's being a normal girl.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Obama, like, what do you think of this? People look at these people that, may be surrounded by, greatness and stuff, and just be like, they're not real people.
Yeah.
And it's like, they can be normal kids too.
Yeah. And that's something that you have to kind of like learn to live with, right? There was movies like that one Anne Hathaway movie where like she's learning to be a
the Princess Diaries
or something.
Yeah.
Princess Diaries, right?
Yeah, where she was the Princess of Genovia.
And there's a lot of movies or TV shows where you see kind of like that. You have a responsibility. You have to be a certain way. And yeah, it's a tough thing to navigate.
It takes away from the human aspect of it. It's like they almost want to strip you of your humanly aspects and want you to be like, sit on this chair and be perfect. But also, why are you sitting there and trying to be perfect?
As long as you have good people in your corner and you see somebody who has good people in the corner, that's what you should really look at as far as like, what are they allowing them to do? And and do you think they'll guide them back? So Malala's cause is great. She's working towards it. Her parents, like, I mean, especially her dad, like, it seems like they've raised her to be, a really great person. She has a great relationship with them. So whenever I see people who seem like, oh, they're in a certain position, but are they allowed to be doing this? Are they taking it too far? You just look back at like, I think the people around them, can manage that, and they'll know what to do. Look at Justin Bieber, for example, always having Scooter Braun in his corner. I don't know what kind of a person Scooter might be, but for him to always be there that whole time, and from what Justin Bieber says about him and how much he's helped him throughout, trying to navigate his childhood and childhood fame and all of that. Billie Eilish, if you saw her documentary, it's incredible because it shows this exact thing of her being a childhood star and having her family, who she's so close to, never, allowing her to be Billie, but never allowing her to damage herself in a way that like, the society might say that she does.
Yeah. Speaking of being in the spotlight and seeing people grow up, there's an iCarly reboot happening. Did you guys watch iCarly?
We just saw the trailer for it. I can't tell what the real difference is, but I don't know. I never liked iCarly.
You never did?
Oh,
No.
really?
No.
Bruh.
I thought it was really
What? Cringy?
corny. Yeah.
Corny. Like,
I
it's part
really
of the Drake and
liked
Josh. Yeah, I thought it was dope.
I love Drake and Josh, but like it got,
Megan.
like for example, what's his name? Steve?
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy Steve.
Crazy Steve. Yeah. Like him, that joke was a joke when we were little. And then, especially to see it now in the trailer, him being that character,
Yeah.
it's way too old. You guys don't feel that way?
No, I do. No, I really do.
It's just not funny
The
anymore.
That
It
whole
was.
the trailer wasn't funny at all.
Well, none of us laughed.
I didn't
funny
enjoy it.
is the trailer was just really a trailer. No official like filming has really been done. Like that was just the trailer to show for people.
That
And then also,
sucked if they didn't even
Yeah,
base that off of
well-
real clips. If they could literally choose anything that they wanted to do to make that, and that's what they came up with, I'm not impressed.
well, there's still, because I'm reading up on this now. One, it's not going to be on Nickelodeon. It's actually going to be on Paramount Plus. So like, local channel that has your CSI and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
she
then
used
the
the word
target-
sexy, so I was like, oh, this is not going to be on Nickelodeon.
and they
And
brought
they were
they
taking
brought out
drinks.
beer too. They were like,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
Well, no,
in the trailer.
their full intention is to make this for the people who grew up watching the show, not kids.
yeah. So, but
Oh.
that's the problem I have with it is I wish they would have elevated it to be more adult friendly. The way that they made it seem was so kiddish. Like, oh yeah, like the only joke that they really made were like, oh, like the sexy alien cheeks and whatever, like the filter,
Snapchat filter. or something.
filter, whatever. And even that's like a little behind. But I mean,
Yeah.
The big thing that I noticed was that her co-star wasn't going to be on there.
Yeah.
Sam.
I think I read somewhere that
the blonde girl?
the blonde
Yeah.
girl, yeah,
Oh.
and the
Jen
Gibby,
McCarthy?
the chubbier guy.
Oh.
He's
No,
also
the guy who was recording.
No, that's
that's not him?
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
So the blonde girl, Jeanette McCurdy, she actually is not an actress anymore. And I think back
the
then,
podcaster now.
she's a podcaster. And back then, there was the director apparently of iCarly was very into like foot fetish, all that stuff.
What?
And there's like episodes of iCarly where they're just showing their feet in like mud and stuff. And like all throughout his shows, there's like, weird stuff like that. And so apparently he had like some predatory thing. So that's why she didn't want to come back.
What the hell? Wait, so and is he still directing it?
I don't know.
There's new producers.
New producers. I think he was a producer. He was a major producer.
So the reboot of iCarly will not be run by its original creator, Dan Schneider,
Yeah,
as he
that's
is
him.
facing.
Oh, Dan Schneider. He's the one
Wait.
that made Drake and Josh.
He's the one
As
who
he
made
is
Drake and Josh.
He's the
facing-
one who has a foot fetish?
I don't know if he has a foot fetish, but there would be foot things in a lot of his.
As he is facing a number of allegations. Instead, the show will sport two new producers, Jake Hogan and Ellie Schouten. This is definitely the right move at the end of the day. Whatever that. Well, I guess if they're not facing,
You know, he would love our show.
What?
Strange
Yeah.
Flavors. We're always all about the feet.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Foot cams.
We didn't even
Foot cams.
do our foot cam today. And I wore special socks
Amber's
for foot
got
cam.
the gross between the toe socks on.
Let me tell you, these were in my donation pile. And
That can't be comfortable.
And they're not.
looks gross.
These are not comfortable and they are very gross.
That's like having like just cloth
Okay.
between your armpits.
She has
That's
basically
the sweaty part of the feet.
basically her sock. It goes around each toe. Stop bringing it closer to me.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
The toe socks.
Yeah,
whatever.
they're toe socks and they're really ugly and they're not comfortable. Whoever says these socks are comfortable, they're lying.
Was it hard to put on?
Nobody says
Like,
that.
Do you have to
No,
put
they
each-
do. You said that people said they're comfortable.
I have like friends that are like, okay, that makes sense.
Can you put
but-
your foot down? I'm not Dan Schneider.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
not
you.
Dan-
Yo, I
But-
saw Steve. What's his name? Crazy Steve.
Yeah.
Apparently he's on Bumble,
Oh yeah, he's on Bumble.
and like people are matching with him.
Yeah.
And he has like his photos from iCarly and stuff.
Yeah, it's
That's
hilarious.
crazy.
It's so weird. Even I know that I actually saw Miranda Cosgrove, right? I saw an episode of her on Whitney Cummings' podcast,
Mhm.
and she's so
regular.
yeah, like I don't mean to be like rude,
Yeah.
but and maybe that's her thing, but she does nothing.
Yeah.
Like she's into like Whitney was running the whole thing and just asking her like, "What do you do? Like, what do you like?" and this and that.
She's like, yeah.
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 Did you see it?
No, but when she was on David Dobrik's
She did the
videos,
same-
Yeah, she was.
she was like, yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
And Drake and Josh, she was the craziest character.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
know.
dude, like she was a great actress. I mean, she probably still is, but
And she's like trying to find matches in LA too. She's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I dated this one guy and like it didn't work out. And I'm just like, how are you so just like normal?
Normal.
Like she
Yeah.
reminds me of people that are like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
that-
like
that goes
like
with-
she hasn't gone through anything.
yeah,
Right.
that goes with our expectations though that we were just talking about, like of these people. We put like huge expectations, but they're just like normal people, you know?
No, but
It's her-
she's oddly normal for being as exposed to the industry as she was.
Like she's in School of Rock and like all those other
I
movies
bet
that-
you like a lot of actors and actresses are also like,
they're, like dry.
yeah, dry.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, I guess you're just putting on a really great performance.
Yeah.
I guess if she played a character that was like that, then we would be like, oh, okay, makes
Yeah.
sense.
But
That's a good point.
my whole question out of this is like, how do you make a good revival, like a good reboot? Do you bring the same elements?
For the most part, you don't.
You never do.
Like, I think what's like name a reboot that's really good. I'm thinking of like Jurassic Park Jurassic Park, Jumanji.
Fuller
like
House
none of them
wasn't
are going to be as good.
terrible.
Huh?
Fuller House wasn't terrible.
It was.
It wasn't okay
Okay
compared to
for the
what we
first-
just saw.
It was okay. It was like we got the point in the first season of Fuller House, and then I was like, oh, I'm not about to watch this
Yeah.
anymore. And I think like what's it called? When the cast like meets up again and does a reunion,
Yeah.
like how they did with Friends, that works because you're going back with the
And talking
nostalgia
about it,
and
yeah.
like talking about it and all of that. But like if they made a new Friends episode, I don't think it would have done that well, or they did with Fresh Prince or something.
But
Because
isn't Fuller House doing really well or did really well?
it did, but like
Okay, I'm watching High School Musical, the series on
Don't they like parody
Disney
the
Disney.
High School Musical? Like, isn't it like a musical in the show?
It's a musical in the show about the musical, but it's a series.
Okay.
And it is like good.
It's good.
Like I like it a lot. It's very enjoyable. If I was a high schooler, I'd definitely enjoy it more. But because I'm older and I actually watch the original High School Musicals, I have appreciation for it. So it's a weird crowd that like a high school crowd would enjoy it, but because you had to like actually enjoy High School Musical to enjoy it, it's a little bit weird. But it's like probably the best reboot I've seen. Or is it a reboot? If it's based
maybe I can. Or is it a continuation?
It's not. It's a show about the movie.
The same characters?
No, they're not even in it. Those characters aren't even in it. It's just about that show.
I think it's a different show then.
No, it's a show, High School Musical, the series. It's a series about High School Musical, and they have their own musical based on High School Musical.
You keep saying about High School Musical as if like it's a documentary or just in the same
so their musical for their high school is High School Musical because High School Musical took place at their school.
That makes sense.
Okay, so it's in the same universe.
Yeah,
like it happened.
Yeah, but it's still talked about
what
as a
she's
musical.
talking about is they're pretty much recreating the original musical that happened.
No, they are not. They, you know how like Gabrielle and Troy were High School Musical.
Yeah,
they have people playing in the show, auditioning for the role of
Gabriella and Troy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a
Right, yeah.
musical.
So
Yeah.
It's a musical in that universe.
Yeah.
So they're not like real people that actually went through those things.
No,
okay.
no.
That makes sense. So like it's kind of making fun of that whole thing.
Yeah, I
a
guess. It's actually good though. I like
That's
it.
dope.
I just can't really think of any that are.
What do you think of the Pixar sequels, Finding Dory, that come out like 10 years
I
after?
didn't watch Finding Dory.
You never watched Finding
Wait,
Dory?
what?
No, is it good?
Okay, what
I
about
don't
I
really-
watched Toy
Toy
Story 4.
What about Toy Story 4? Toy Story 3?
It was unnecessary.
Toy Story 3 was
Toy Story
amazing.
3 was good.
It's amazing. That was 10
that
years
was
after.
but that was like we needed it.
That was the
But,
first
like, that's
of the reboots though,
That's a
right?
continuation.
Continuation.
It's like 10 years after, and it's like Andy, what would happen? I thought that was a perfect ending, but I hated Toy Story 4. But I thought
I
Toy
like
Story
Forky.
3
No, Forky was
sucked.
Forky was the worst
Listen,
character.
I will
you
not
could-
allow for Forky slander.
worst character there could ever be.
That's disrespectful.
But going back,
Hate it.
the only reason I brought iCarly was that actually people are really excited for this series. Like they saw the
Oh.
trailer.
Are you Shamir?
And-
Don't you have a crush on Miranda Cosgrove or something?
I have a crush on everyone.
He had a crush on Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom, Miley Cyrus, everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are excited.
Let's get that
Okay.
right.
A lot of people are excited for this. And they're saying like, oh, I'm glad it's the same song. It seems like they're trying to do it like as they're older and stuff like that.
Those songs though, the theme songs for all those shows hit so different.
They bang.
Like,
Those themes are-
it feels good to
songs are
hear
good, though.
those songs.
Yeah. And there can't be a Drake and Josh revival because Drake went to
Drake.
jail.
Well, he's
Or he's
yeah.
in like allegations. I don't know the full thing, so I'm not going to bring it up. But
Drake is always on one. He's doing something crazy.
It should be like Josh and Megan. Megan and Josh.
That'd be
Yo,
cool.
don't lie. Josh was never funny after he got skinny.
Okay, well, people
That's
love
true.
to say that because they think that's such a like strong
Amber.
statement. Like it's not that funny.
What I'm saying is, if there was a reboot, like it wouldn't be funny because
I think Josh is
Josh
fun.
is not funny. Anymore.
He for a while was carrying David Dobrik's
In
vlogs with
person,
his
he's funny.
wit. With his wit, yeah,
Yeah.
he's clever.
No,
and
no, I know Josh Peck. Like he's funny.
yeah.
But in
the
that
show,
character,
that character.
like the whole, repeating things. It's spherical. Like it's not funny anymore. When
Even
you do
he
it.
hates it. He's like, I don't want to do these lines.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like those
when he
lines don't
records-
work anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, last thing about like these reboots and all that. Sometimes when things get carried too far, you just lose like, you just don't even know what it is anymore. Like Fast and Furious, right? What is it? The 10th movie that's out now?
I think 9th.
what?
Okay, not
They're
that-
still going.
Yeah.
They're trying
That's crazy.
They're trying to get a deal going where they collaborate with Jurassic Park.
Huh?
I know. Like they did the planes. They did this
They're going to
submarines.
space
They're
in
going to
this one.
space now. It's like, what's next? Oh, dinosaurs. We need
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
And it was started out just being about cars and racing.
Loki though,
are
that kind of
all
sound
the
fire.
original staff minus what is his name? Paul Walker.
Paul Walker,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are all the original like crew minus him still in all of the videos till now.
Movies.
Movies.
Yeah.
I think The Rock isn't anymore.
As far as actors and whatnot, yeah, it all changed.
Did anybody drop out?
Well, here's
What The Rock did, right? The Rock is not.
Well, you talked about in the beginning when it was just about cars. So the first one had one director, the second had another director, and then the third, Tokyo Drift, who's been directing it for the longest time. He may still be doing it, he may not, but with him, that's when it started to shift and get real crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they make a lot of money, like
Well,
globally, especially.
Okay.
And also 10, apparently 10 is the finale. The 10th movie.
Let me tell you something, Isan. It's not. Let me tell you. Spoiler
They're gonna
alert.
have a finale after the finale.
It's not a finale.
Here's the thing about like movies and especially like Fast and the Furious franchise, right? Comedies can't be globally successful, right? American comedy is different from Indian comedy is different from Asian comedy. Like it's all different.
This is a good point.
Romance, but action, universally understood.
Yeah.
Action, fighting,
Yeah.
car driving.
Especially internationally.
It's especially internationally because
yeah.
like you don't know what they're saying. They just say family, and then like everyone's like, oh yeah, family. But like driving, they're like, oh, that's so cool. Cars, action, explosions.
Well,
My
that's
dad
amazing.
loves
That's Hollywood if it's anything.
action
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
that are like he won't watch that many like American, what is it, like Hollywood movies,
Dramas, like
whatever.
yeah.
But action American movies, he's like, oh, like Mujhko action movie. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, all my cousins,
All my
everybody,
cousins too.
when we went to Pakistan last time, like they were like, "Yeah, we have to see Fast and Furious."
Yeah,
Like, they're like, "Yeah, Rock, yo."
The Rock. I was like,
they
what's your favorite actor? He's like, oh, The Rock, man. I want to be
because
like,
the thing is, like, we don't have people that look like this.
Yeah.
Over there, we don't have these situations where you can make a movie with this kind of a budget and this like fantasy, this level of fantasy. And like, I remember Will Smith saying that like, I forget who told him, but somebody had told him that like when you make movies, you need to travel and go to Japan, go to India, because those fans will go crazy for you,
Yeah.
and that's how you make a blockbuster really successful. And it works. I think maybe The Rock was talking about Will Smith or something like that, but The Rock does that, and everybody in the world knows who that is because he travels with it. And those movies, no matter how corny the US thinks they are, the US is a very small part of it. Like I remember John Cena, he made a comment about Taiwan, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And he had to immediately take that.
apologize.
Yeah, he had to take that back and apologize to China because it affects their gross income like crazy, how much that movie makes. And so like on an international level, it doesn't matter what we think because they're making a ton of money and they're going to be able to do whatever they want from there. So there's that. iCarly is great, but iOS is way better.
Wow.
why?
You like that?
That was a great transition.
It was.
Transition.
Thank you. iOS,
Like
meaning,
Faras goes, you like that?
You like-
well, then I like when Shamir gets nerdy. It's hot, dude.
The window's open.
Nerd hour. No, he's saying it's
Oh.
hot.
It's
the window's open.
oh, the window, Amber. It could be freezing cold in here, but Nerdy Shimmer is the hottest version of Shimmer. All right.
I'm like, both of the windows are wide open. What more could we do? Like we have the fan on too.
iPhone always seems to come out, or just Apple seems to come out with certain updates a lot later than what's been on Google or Android.
Android like has like 5 years before.
But when they do it, it's a movement.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a cultural norm, basically, of like, behaving socially in certain ways and what people tend to do and stuff.
Like I always see new updates, right? I like them announced, and then like when the update finally comes out in like September, I see like Twitter screenshots of like the new FaceTimes and like people using it in these ways. And when like they had the animation face things, like people were using them. Like culturally, like you see these updates in like screenshots and like text message bubbles, and the fact that green and blue bubbles like are so important.
Yeah, don't text
Yeah.
me if you're green.
That's colorist.
Yeah, just WhatsApp me.
The interesting thing about this update is now you can be on FaceTime and listen to music at the same time. So if I want to show you, Amber,
Wow.
an album that just came out, right? Like the new Ronopono album that's coming out. We can listen to it at the same time. If you hit pause,
COVID listening parties.
see, now you're getting it.
It's kind of late, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
No, but I mean, overall, like
Yeah.
COVID changed the way that we interact with each other, and like people are, it's here to stay as far as like the ways that, you know, we're interacting virtually forever.
Like especially during COVID and stuff, a lot of these apps are coming out where you get to play party games with like your friends and FaceTime and all that stuff. And it was like third-party apps that were kind of like janky. But seeing it now like officially in the iOS, that's kind of cool.
Well, it's going to be, what I mean is it's going to be here in our lives to stay, that level of interaction, because people are going to figure out, oh, I don't actually need to go to work for everything, or I don't actually need to be in person for a hangout in every instance. So guys, let's just do this. So now, you know, like with the music thing, you can hit pause. It'll pause it for me. You can add something to a playlist.
Wow.
I'll see what's next. We can, it's in real time. Like you're sitting in front of a CD player and like hitting pause and switching out CDs and all that.
Wow.
Plus watching movies together.
But how can you watch movies together?
So like if you're either on your phone watching it on Netflix or something, or
Is
you
it
can
like
AirPlay it.
showing on your phone, like it's split screen?
It'll show you the video in the full screen, and at the bottom, like in the corner, it'll show you the other person.
Wow.
And you can like text during it, or it'll like turn the volume down if you're saying something. You can have multiple people in it.
That's game changing.
So I don't know, like whenever something like this happens, it scares me just a little bit.
Why people are going to be too addicted? Paranoid.
I think that like we're just moving in the direction where we're all living together separately.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Meaning like you're not alone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can be, but you're not, like, because everything exists.
I mean, I never feel alone with like my phone,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You just check Twitter and you like see what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, go on Instagram. You're a part of somebody's life and their story or whatever. You know, like you can always be interacting with somebody. But I felt like that for a while now. And in this case, so it makes it, in some way it's cool because it's like long distance people. It makes it more attainable and all that type of stuff. But it does definitely take away from like the personal social interaction. But I don't know about you guys, but I feel the same level of exhausted that I do from an in-person hangout than I do like on a Zoom or like.
I feel way more exhausted on a Zoom, because in person, you don't even have to, you could like be doing your own thing. You could leave when you want. You can go to a different room, and you can, move like in a virtual, when you're on camera, you're sitting there in the same seat. You have to be present. And you have to be listening, and like it's way more exhausting.
That's
online,
a good point.
I think.
That is actually a really good point.
I mean, look at kids. Like all the kids that are at my masjid and stuff, I've been keeping up with them this whole last year, and hearing their feedback, it's like the only part they like is that they get done school earlier and can play video games or like be doing other things. But otherwise, I mean, all that social interaction, all that sort of like
moving around.
Yeah, like when you're a kid, like you're just moving,
meeting people.
And so all that stuff, it gets annoying. But like what I'm also thinking is that, you know, when it comes to like, I don't want to be one of those people that are like, oh, technology is taking us in the wrong direction. Because like if you have long distance relationships or just want to watch a movie where like you can't go out and you can watch something together, like it's really dope. Yeah. All this technology is really great. But like what you're saying, you know, there was another part of this update where your keys can be in your phone the same way that all your credit cards are in your Apple Wallet. So now all of the cars are going to have updates that integrate with your phone. And so now your phone is your keys, your wallet, you know, your notepad, calculator, everything that's always been. And, you know, if you lose the phone, like you lose a lot of it. I'm sure there's ways to have backups and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose the credit cards. That's even harder, I feel like.
Yeah, it's way worse to lose a credit card than it is to lose your phone, because you can lock your phone out easily.
You lock your phone out, get a new one. I mean, it's more expensive to get a new phone.
My point is though that like you can't.
It's more secure.
You can't leave your phone, because before,
does that bother you that you can't leave your phone? It does,
because like even if I want to be like, all right, I don't want to have the phone with me right now, it's like, damn, like I need it for this.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's still so many people that still love keys. They still love gas cars. They still love the old stuff, right? There's still a bunch of old people that don't even have Apple devices. So all these car companies are still going to have to, you know, cater to these older generations. Yeah. Which is kind of nice.
Well, you want to keep up with the times. in our case,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like one of the only times I feel detached is when I'm like gardening, cutting the lawn, doing things like this where I actually don't need anything.
Yeah.
And it's like you actually need shed keys, you need like lawnmower equipment and like, you know, all that, where you feel like you're in control and you can take your time. Online, it just feels like everything's on the clock.
Yeah.
And things are going to come and go and be relevant and, you know, run out of time. And yeah, like if you're not present in what's going on, especially in our field, then you miss out on a lot and don't know how to go along. Like when somebody in our friend group even like comes into a new game or something that we're all using and we have to like tell them like, oh, you didn't know this? Like they're so behind.
Yeah.
I remember one time when all those things that the interactions with the messages came up, like you can like a message, dislike a message. Amber didn't have the update and she thought that it was within like some slang.
Yeah. So people would be like,
so
this
mind you,
person
I was
liked-
like 1 month late to this update.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But people were like, okay, you know when you like something and then the little thumbs up will show up on
This
top
was
of the
when those first
message.
started happening. I had an iPhone 5 and the iPhone 7 had come out. So I was 2 years behind.
Amber.
And it was a month. I'm trying to explain. So I was
You don't have
writing
to
in my
explain it.
listen.
We need the story
I'm
first.
trying to
We need the
explain
story.
it. So
You're making the excuse before the
I'm
story.
not making the excuse. Shut
Okay,
up.
she had this old ass phone.
Right.
And then
and so the thumbs up came out.
the thumbs up came out. And then she would see Sana liked, hey, how are you guys doing?
And the whole message.
Right? And so then Amber was trying to be a part of that. And so then she would be like, Amber liked, and then copy the message and paste it.
She typed in Amber liked
Because
or
I
Amber
thought-
laughed at.
Because she thought we were all doing that.
I thought you guys were all, I thought this is a new thing that happened, that everybody is like, ooh, all these cool kids are over here in a group chat being like,
Let me tell you guys something.
I thought, you know,
Amber.
do you remember like back on Twitter when people used to quote retweet, but they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have that option? So they used to do it themselves
They
manually.
just quoted it and said,
I thought that's what was happening.
Amber, let me tell you something. I would never do that.
Okay.
If that was a trend, if that's something you guys were all doing, I would never do that.
I understand.
It's so there's plenty of trends that come
yeah.
and you're just like, you choose. You're like, I'm not going to participate in this one.
Okay, let me
This
tell
one
you.
sounds good. That's one of those where I would have been like,
You're stronger than I
y'all
am,
do
okay?
you.
This
But
is
the
what,
fact that you typed Amber Khan laughed at and pasted the entire message every single time.
and tell me why I was getting everybody's likes like that, but they obviously got mine as a message. And everybody was like, Amber, did you type that out? And I was like, is that not what we're all doing? Like, are we not all typing it out? And I was getting these long messages, and mine, imagine this. It was like, Shamir liked, haha, that's so funny. Alishba like, haha, that's so funny. Frost like, haha, that's so funny. Da, da, da.
And then on our phones, you just see like thumbs ups on the message.
On the message. So then I'm thinking, every single person in this chat but me is responding like this.
Amber, God bless you, but you failed the social experiment. You know those experiments where a bunch of people are faced the opposite way in an elevator
yeah.
and someone comes in and they're like, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then they face the opposite way. Amber, every single time in those experiments would definitely comply. Right? Because that's, you want to do.
I don't like this overall character analysis based off this one situation.
It's fine. It's not, it doesn't make you like good or bad or right or wrong.
But I don't like this
It's just
character
funny.
analysis.
Like
okay?
me, I would go into an elevator and be like,
Oh my God, and I have to figure out how to escape.
what's going on here? I gotta leave. I'm not being in this elevator. Like, or I'm facing this way. I'm not doing that. What's that way? Right? That's the difference. And you can make fun of me for that, but I'm gonna make fun of you for typing out every single time.
I will say that I love keeping up with trends. Like, I think it's so much fun.
But if that was a trend, that's not a good trend
Okay for
to
us.
keep up with.
Good for you. You wouldn't do it, but I would, and
good
I
for
did.
me. Good
Okay,
for me. Bad
so
for you.
okay, bye. I like whatever it is, whether it's Gen Z stuff, whatever. I find so much fun in it.
Amber
I
wants
like.
to be Gen Z so bad. You always say-
Congratulations. Is there another thing you want to say about me?
There's
Next
always-
time you say it, bring your fist here, okay?
there's always I want to be Gen Z. Like Gen Z is so cool. Gen Z.
No, I like Gen Z. I enjoy Gen Z people because I think they're funny and they're like nonchalant. They have like these like fun inside jokes. I love inside jokes. And everything about Gen Z is one big inside joke. And trends.
I guess. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're like a collective mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to it. Amber is special.
Okay, don't fall in love with Ed.
Amber, it's fine that you did that.
Ross,
It's a good
why are
thing.
we still talking about me?
Yeah, this is
Let's
like
move on to the
3
next
years later.
topic.
All right.
Not 3, 5.
5. Oh yeah, 5.
And mind you, that
Okay,
was the
we're done,
only
we're
time. God damn.
There's this new show called We Are Lady Parts, and it's gotten mixed reactions and reviews online, as any show with this sort of character depictions would get.
Yeah, it's like basically a show about a band, I believe, with a lot of Muslim characters, right, Hassan?
Yeah, they're trying to start a female, like all sister Muslim punk rock band, right?
And yeah, like Isan actually told us about the show, so you watched it, but I've seen this reaction over shows like this a lot, where
Every time there's a Muslim show,
there was
backlash.
There was like a TikTok that I saw specifically that like this guy, he's auditioning for a Muslim character in like a new show that someone's making. And then, the guy asked him like, hey, like, are you Muslim? He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, would you be willing to do this, and that, like drink and do this and do that? And like all things that, people would get annoyed at typically.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I'm down for it. And then at the end of the interview, he goes, oh, by the way, I'm not actually Muslim. And so that's, how a lot of people feel when it comes to shows where it's just like, oh, we finally get representation. Oh, but they have to be depicted in a rebellious way.
Yeah.
So that's what the backlash comes from, because it's never like, oh, this character is just going to be like a normal, Muslim person.
It seemed that way like in Master of None in the first few episodes. I've only watched the first few episodes of season 1. But they were like, pork is so delicious and like I want to eat it so badly. And I'm like, it's not that serious. Like,
well, also Aziz Ansari, like he says that he's not non-practicing. And I think that it's his show, right? Like he created the show. And so I think he's making an
overemphasis. It's like you could have just had it a side thing, but they made a whole episode about them going out to eat pork and how delicious it is. Like that's excessive.
But the point is, I think that like that's what gets the attention.
Well, it's also his story.
It's his story for sure.
Yeah.
But like it's the you're not gonna. We come on this podcast every time and we share certain topics and stories. Out of all the things that we go through and witness, there's a reason that we pick the things that we do. If you listen to this podcast and you listen to every episode, you'd be like, oh my God, these guys, like, they're crazy in this way, or like they're always going through something. But like that's not the case.
Yeah.
We just pick the ones that would.
Well, I don't know. I'm definitely always going through something.
Yeah, I mean, you got Paranoia. She's got.
Yeah.
She's got what?
She's
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Always going through something.
The thing with this show, right? Because you were talking about the rebellious Muslim, or what that's usually what's portrayed in the different shows. This, like, they took very. This wasn't rebellious and towards Islam. It was just they actually took different. I feel like these types of Muslims are not represented at all. And then
what is that? What's
what
these
is
types?
that?
So there's a few different ones. So you have Syra, who's a singer. She non-hijabi, but she's still religious. She still prays. Has a boyfriend, and she's the head of this punk rock band. The first song they open up, they're singing like pretty much protesting honor killings, right? That's the song. That's like the introduction to the band, right? Then you have Mumtaz, who's the manager, Niqabi, always dressed up with some crazy stuff. Like she's got like those lace rose black gloves on her,
Very
with, like, the whole
stylish.
outfit, and then she's got the vape blowing through the mask and everything. Her character specifically, she wears her niqab when she's around the sisters, even if it's just the sisters, because it makes her feel powerful. They did an interview with that, and her character specifically, they interviewed someone who the character was kind of modeled after her, I think. Then you have Aisha, who's a hijabi, and she's actually gay in the series. and ends up having a relationship with a girlfriend. Now, all these, are they the quote model Muslim? Well, when you really break it down, no one's really a model Muslim, right?
Yeah.
But these are real Muslims, women that are out there. And then you have also Bisma. She's got the African head wrap, and I wish they did more about her character. She didn't stand out to me, but you have all these real profiles that some people can relate with, right? Because when you hear the outrage go about, we need to find someone who represents us, the good Muslim. What is that? Because no matter what you do, you're getting judged for not being the good Muslim. I don't care where you're going.
It's really hard to capture what a Muslim is, and when even on a cultural basis, right? There's so many different types of people out there that are from different cultures and different upbringings, and frankly, just behave and act in different ways, and that's the truth. That's the truth, right? To your thing about the model Muslim, there is, right? It would be the Prophet, peace be upon him, which that's who is supposed to be the model, that we like literally do things as he would do, which is the Sunnah. I think that in a show like this,
and even that's up for discussion.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, interestingly enough.
But we're not supposed to say that.
Well, I mean, like,
you know what I mean on that.
Yeah.
We're not going to pretend to be scholars or anything
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, that's what the general sort of belief is.
Yeah.
And when it comes to a show like this, like, it sounds like they're trying to capture different characters, and now they have a Muslim background, which, like, you might see those characters in a show like that. I don't think it would throw anybody off if those characters were just those characters, right? But then when you have a religion thrown into it, then that's where that group of people, and Muslims beyond anybody, I think, are the most critical when it comes to how they are depicted, right? So that's the backlash for it. I did see this thing that Riz Ahmed was sharing recently, which was saying that we need more Muslim characters in TVs and movies, because every time they are, and we've known this for a while, but anytime that they do have a character, it's always going after certain stereotypes and all of that, right? And he says that, like, that's the reason why we have certain Islamophobic attacks on people, like the hate attacks that we have. And like he was talking about that attack that happened in London,
Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, and where there was a whole family that was slaughtered, by a car, because of the way that they look like. They were just taking a walk, and it left one member of the family, who was a 9-year-old boy, as the only surviving member of that family. So for all of this, I mean, Riz Ahmed, what he's trying to get at is, like, all these things linked together.
Yeah.
And so he's saying that, like, we need more just Muslim characters. And I think that, like, a show like this would actually help his case, maybe, because it's not just the stereotypical roles that you see where it's like a terrorist, a taxi driver, whatever, 7-Eleven worker. And so
on the flip side too, when you look at the people wanting the ideal religious Muslim, like when we had Tone Trump, on the show, he talked about, like, I'm going to dress like me. I'm not going to dress like a Mufti Mink. It's about, and what Aman said, Islam isn't supposed to take over you. It's supposed to accentuate what your culture is. And that gets lost a lot. And I think stuff like this is bringing it back to that.
Yeah.
I think it would just help that, like, we've had a lot of these things, like, in characters like in this show, We Are Lady Parts, where they are taking the more sort of like rebellious approach. But what if it was a show where it's just like, I guess, a more religious person?
I mean, I hate the word normalize, but I think that's like a proper term to use here, is like normalizing just Muslim characters that are just normal in these shows and in movies and stuff like that. And, I think we talked about it too a long time ago, but Spider-Man actually had like a hijabi character, and she was just a normal girl. Like, there was no mention of her being like Muslim or anything. She was just a normal girl. Like,
it was just physically a hijabi girl in the movie Spider-Man.
Yeah, which was like dope, and there's other movies that are coming out where it's just, you see a Muslim guy as the main character or something like that, so that, people that are not usually used to seeing those type of people, especially in like Midwest areas and all that stuff, they can be like, oh, it's like.
I think it's slowly becoming normal. And I saw like in a Bollywood movie, I think 2 years ago, Veer the Wedding. And it was the first time I had seen, like, especially in brown movies, where a gay person was not brought up as being gay. They just were gay. And I think that slowly in Hollywood, that's happening with Muslims. Like slowly, we're going to just be Muslim without having to be Muslim.
Yeah, like physically just being there. And that's the one that I like the most, where it's not like, we haven't seen the show. So do you think that in this show, are they really going after like, oh, like here are my values and like, here's who I am, and like talking about their religion a lot, or are they just
no,
being
so
themselves?
Like the religion is more it's a part of their life, but it's not a religious TV show, right? It's they put it in there to where it's not. It kind of is the focus. It is like it's hard to put into words, but you like anybody can watch. You don't have to be Muslim to watch it. You know, it's like, you know, take a Christian household for example. Hey, I want to do like Footloose. I want to, you know, dance, but my father's the pastor and he has a problem with this when really there's nothing wrong here. The main character, Amina, she comes from the whole circle of friends who are very judgmental. You have to be this kind of Muslim. You have to get married by X certain time. And then she meets this punk rock band who's looking for guitars. That's the main plot, because Amina's the main character, not the 4 original girls that are in the band. And then she's finding herself, and her parents are the dopest. Like, okay, every time she's meeting a man, they embarrass her. But there's some part where things kind of get dark, and the parents like, what's wrong? We thought you liked, you know, this musician and this and this and this. And she's like, my friends told me that's all haram. They're like, okay, come on, that's up for discussion. Come on now. Like, really? So it really breaks down the barriers of these conversations to where, especially in the households where it's like, oh no, it's either haram or halal. Haram, halal. This kind of opens that up and go, hey, all these are Muslim, whether they're right or wrong, whatever they're going through, it doesn't take away the fact that they're Muslim. And that's not even the focus. It's just, it just brings it all together.
Yeah. I think that's better, because there's so many times where like Muslim people are represented as like, oh, my parents are so strict, I have to go home now. Or like, you know, it's all about them being Muslim. But like when you think about our real lives, we aren't being Muslim, we just are Muslim.
Exactly.
And I think that's cool that they're just representing people who are being Muslim, who just are Muslim, rather than the show actively having to be about Muslims. And Rami, it was a little bit annoying that it was like that. I understand it was about his religious journey, so it kind of had to be like that. But it felt like it was so centered around haram and halal constantly that that's kind of where I personally feel like all the outrage was coming from, because it was so centered on haram and halal. And when you talk about that stuff, then there is room for debate. But if you're just being you in the show and you aren't a perfect person, then you can't really blame somebody for being that. But when you put them on there and you're deliberately like, I'm a Muslim, and then literally showing them like throw back a shot, like you don't need to do that at the same time.
Especially for the you know, younger folks at home who are like, yeah, I want to be Muslim, but I'm struggling with this or this. Oh, I'm not dressing up in a thobe every day. Oh, that must mean I can't be Muslim. And this kind of fights that.
I think that's what scares people the most, is when there are those debates, or like there's a character consciously picking a choice, and then you know, it could teach somebody, because, you know, I think that I've learned so much watching TV and movies, that on a certain level, a lot of those characters, you find out why something they did is clearly wrong or clearly right. And when you have
like a lesson being learned.
Right. And when you have certain situations where it's just like, if you have religion in it and somebody sees that and that's their way of getting knowledge, then it might scare some people of like, man, this is not the way that it should be taught or anything. And of course, like the creators, like Rami says, like, don't watch my show for these reasons. Yeah. I'm sharing like just 4 stories here about these characters. But I mean, even in the show, Rami clearly knows like the path that he is quote unquote supposed to go, the quote he wants to go, and what he actually does and the consequences for that. So if you watch that show, I think with a mature background, right? Like where we, at our age, we can watch it and we can say like, Rami, no, don't do that. Or like, good, that's what you get. Whereas somebody who's younger might watch that and be like, oh, like cool. Like Rami did that. Like, oh, he's Muslim too. I think that's what might scare people. And I understand. And it's hard to avoid because for us, it's not going to be just like some, white kid sitting there watching like a movie and being like, oh yeah, like Matt Damon, he's Christian. Cause like, it's just you see it all the time and it's normalized, right? But with us, anytime you see somebody who is physically, apparently Muslim, then you know that and it becomes part of who they are. Mm-hmm. But yeah, until we like just have normal characters who don't have to just speak about religion. Because like in our workplace and school and this and that, like how often are we talking about it? Like no, we just do our thing if we're practicing or whatever, and then we go on about it and we talk about sports and entertainment like this podcast is. So it's gonna be a hard thing to avoid, but it's gonna be there for a while. What is your deal with this side hustle thing?
Yeah, so I came across this article that I'm sorry. Sorry,
getting late here on the podcast.
I opened up your thing and now it's gone. Hassan, can you share it back to me? Basically, the article was talking about the hobbies or side hustles that won't make you rich.
Won't make you rich. Okay.
Will not make you rich. So there's this thing.
Avoid these.
No, but like, I don't know if you noticed, there's constantly online, they're like, work on your side hustle, like make your money, da da da. And I think it was funny because in a way it was like, okay, people like to make it seem like your side hustles are going to make you rich. Some side hustles aren't going to make you rich because some certain things require time for money. Like for example, if I was to continue nannying, right? Nannying's not going to make me rich because it's exchange of money for my time. Whereas if I opened up a care center, that could make me rich because it's actually like capitalizing on that whole situation.
I mean, it depends also where. Like if you're nannying in New York City.
Well, I think the point she's getting at is like exchanging time for money.
Exactly.
And like side hustles, basically you want to establish like a base where you put time into it and then eventually you don't have to put time into it and it'll still like make money.
Oh, so like passive income.
Sort of like building to that. Like any business, more people come in, like you can still put time in and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I got the article up now.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So the number one thing said, and this was funny to me, it says, don't try Patreon unless you have 334 true fans.
Do we got that?
Yes, but not patrons.
No, we thank you all patrons, whoever. But
says,
that's funny.
If
Is
you
there, like, a
want to
description?
make a bare minimum of $2,000 a month from Patreon, you need 334 patrons. Do you have that many people that would be willing to contribute on a monthly basis long term? I'm not alone, blah, 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 blah. So that's number one.
You don't have to have that many. It depends on how much your tiers are.
Right. So this is
$1 million tier and you're good to go.
$1 million.
I have one patron and he funds my entire life.
This is going based on a $6 a month patron
Okay.
price, which is average, right?
Average, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have like $2, $5. Like,
yeah.
$1. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. Number two, it says copywriting pay is abysmal and soul sucking.
Copywriting pay?
Copywriting pay, yeah. It's
What's
not. What's copywriting?
Like basically making all the teasers for things. Copy is like just
like
writing.
The wordage and writing for like websites or
Okay.
guides and stuff like that.
Blurbs, teasers.
So it's saying it's not worth your time?
It's about a penny per word.
Penny per word. Okay.
It says it's not scalable and it'll crush your soul.
So you're still exchanging time for money.
Exactly.
essentially.
I think that's
Okay.
what it is.
There's a lot of variables in a lot of these because like
Well,
if you're a known person who like you have a lot of credibility and stuff, if you're just trying to be like, oh, I'm going to start copywriting today, yeah, it's going to be really difficult to do that. But like if you have an established sort of
That's the whole point. These are side hustles.
yeah,
If
no, I'm
you-
saying
if you, like,
Because
really, if
copywriting
you-
as your like people who do copywriting for a living as their primary thing and have a business, they're making money and they know what they're doing. But
this is a side hustle, which is like you're not gonna get rich off your side hustles.
They're
You'd have to
probably
make
working
it
for
no,
somebody
what I'm
else.
saying
So
is
it's
that
like
you work
initially-
towards it. Like with a Patreon, you can't just be like, oh, well, you need that many, so I'm not going to start. Like you have to work towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
sounds
the
like
point of
these
a
are
side hustle.
initial like
Yeah.
big bang.
Because
like,
I think it's the fact that people make it sound like do this,
Make a
and in
Patreon,
return, you
yeah.
get rich
Yeah.
or
Well,
like
it's
whatever.
the whole thing is that when they try to get you into these things, they say, "Oh, these people who do it are making this much money."
Yeah.
It's so easy to do it, not at the level, but it's easy to do it. So you could do it on the side, but there's no connection between that and the amount of money that's actually
like we could be
being made.
like, oh, Strange Flavors Town's easy. It's like funding, all this. Our Patreon's funding all this, but like the amount of work we put into it,
Yeah.
and like how long we've been doing it.
Same
like,
with all the people that are at the top. Like it
Yeah.
took them a long time, and it was a side
No,
hustle.
but there's some people who, like, for example, have a big audience that can launch a Patreon, and within a month they're making
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah,
Now
that's true.
it's fine for have it, but
like
for example,
OnlyFans for a lot of people. They
but
kick it
as
off
a
and it's good to
side
go.
hustle, like people
it's
who
just
are making OnlyFans and making a lot of money on OnlyFans that aren't super celebrities. Like for example, Lana the Plug has an OnlyFans, right? She puts in hours and hours and hours a day into her OnlyFans and constantly works on it.
Also, the top like 80-90% don't even make a livable income on OnlyFans. Like
Yeah,
it's just only
it's
the
the top
people.
1 to 2% that
But
make like a
but
super.
isn't that the point
that
of
make a lot of money? Obviously,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
more that make.
isn't that the point of side hustle? It's not their main hustle.
That's the point. Is that it won't make you rich. Okay, hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. So let's keep going.
Okay.
It says, "Don't get caught up in the NFT hype."
Yeah, okay.
Agreed.
That's agreed. Like
That one is
people
a
would be
huge
like,
one.
oh, make an NFT and you'll make $1,000, $10,000. We're talking about that, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, and she was like, oh, why don't I sell my, what'd you say? Fart or something?
Like a cough, a poop.
A poop or something. And we're like, Amber, your cough or poop doesn't have value, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what we were saying. It's like, you got to make value towards it. So like, definitely agree with that one.
Listen, my cough and poop are both
No,
valuable.
I was saying agree with that NFT.
Okay,
You might make it valuable.
listen.
These socks. Who wants Amber socks?
Dan Schneider does.
Damn, yeah, I'm gonna make money off of those.
Dan listens to this podcast like, where are you selling them? Give me that NFT.
Okay, surveys from home are not the answer. I have seen so many TikToks about, oh my God, just take these surveys. And it's like, they're saying that these surveys typically pay 20 to 50 cents per survey. And they usually take 15, 20 minutes to complete. So you earn a small, and if you don't.
Bro, I remember those surveys when I was little and I was like, oh my God. Like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
brother he was like, I'm making money off these surveys. I was like, what? And then I realized it takes so much time.
Yeah.
I was like,
You get
nah.
like 40 cents per hour, like max, probably. And you're doing like a bunch of surveys.
And if you don't qualify, you may earn a small consolidation prize of 5 cents.
And a lot of people like go through the surveys, like it doesn't matter, click, click, click. I'd be like reading everything and I'd be like, well, what would I do? And I'm like, wait, this isn't good. But I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
says
taking too long.
that
do surveys.
it's not a profitable side hustle, which I think we all pretty much agree with.
Surveys ain't it. If it was trivia, I'd be on that. Because now you're learning while you're doing it.
Right. It
Family
says
Feud?
YouTube is, and then in quotations, probably a bad idea. It says, ooh, I don't know. It says basically that it's a long road ahead to get monetized, much less earning enough money to change your life. Obviously, all these things can be taken, in whichever way, have whatever variables.
But I sort of agree to that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would love for like anyone who comes to me and like, yo, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to make money. I'm like, yo, listen, it's not that easy. It is not that. You got to put the average like people that, get the amount to even start making money. You need like 100 videos apparently to get like monetized.
Yeah.
So that's
Look,
like the
man,
average.
It's not easy, but it's simple. What I mean by that is if you do something, it's a lot of it is consistency.
Yeah.
Okay. But keeping up, like you're saying that one girl who does the OnlyFans, how much time she spends on it, she has to spend that much time. But if she didn't, she wouldn't make that much.
Right.
And
So,
like,
they're defining a profitable side hustle by being 1, enjoyable, 2, scalable, 3, valuable.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
Yeah.
the people going into this trying to make money, you have to be passionate about it. Like you
For
have
sure.
to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Same with the Patreon thing. Probably same with the copywriting thing. Like you have to enjoy all these things.
You
Survey
know-
thing, I don't know.
They're missing a really
Who's
important
passionate
one.
about doing surveys?
No, let me tell you guys. I say all this because I looked on here and I didn't find the one that they should have put on here
What?
the whole time. MLMs.
Oh, multi-level marketing.
Yes, that first of all, these boss babes want to claim
Pyramid schemes.
pyramid schemes. These girls, and I'm saying girls because they love going by the term boss babes, and it's exhausted by MLMs, and I hate that term now.
Basically,
What is this?
Okay, so in my high school, it also started. There was a huge MLM going on in my high school. So basically, it's one dude, maybe like a
company,
couple people, a company at the top. In my school, it was an energy drink, right? People were selling these energy drinks, right?
Yeah.
And then they would hire 2 people under them, right? One person hires 2 people under them, and they're like, hey, you have to buy our energy drinks, right? And you have to sell them to people. And then once you meet this quota, we'll pay you for the energy drinks.
But first, you have to buy it.
You have to buy
First,
it.
you're my customer.
This is like
if
Pursuit
you want
of
to sell it,
Happiness.
right?
And
how
then,
Will Smith had to buy those machines.
Yeah.
Sort of.
and
yeah.
so then the more people you recruit under you, you get like bonuses. Like some people get a car, some people get like, you know, a night, 100,000, a million, whatever. And so this went so down further, and you're screwing basically everyone under you.
Yes. And so basically, I came across a few people in MLMs, but basically there's one really big known one is Mary Kay. And they love to talk about how you can win this pink Cadillac or white Cadillac or whatever it is, right? And they're like, it's super attainable. They make it seem like it's so easy. And the thing that they say that is the number one best thing about MLMs is that you can do it on your own free time from your room. It is a side hustle. It's just extra money, and it can make you money, and it's a business. It's your own business. And I'm like, first of all, it's not your own business. That's not your own business. You didn't start that. You're not doing anything for it. You're getting, you're buying products with your own money to then advertise. And then hopefully you can scam some other people to join with you to then sell to them. I'm passionate about this for a reason, okay? Because
Did it happen to you?
Did you join?
I didn't join, but when you are affiliated with people who are in MLMs, you don't know what interaction is authentic and what is inauthentic, because they could be like, oh my God, let's go get lunch, right? And you're like, wow, like I've heard so many stories of people being like, I was new in town. Somebody's like, oh yeah, like let's go get lunch. I was so excited. I got my outfit together and I was getting ready to go to brunch. And I get there and she's trying to like recruit me for selling products. The problem with that is if you were just getting them to join on and make money, that's fine. But in order for you to properly make them your side person, like you're the person underneath you, and make them a rep, you have to screw them over in the process by making them spend their own money on products. And a lot of these things cost membership fees and everything. So if you are an Arbonne babe, if you are a Mary Kay babe, if you're, what are they called? Herbalife.
Oh yeah, Herbalife.
Herbalife. They try to claim all these nutritious things, but they hide underneath smoothies and stuff.
I heard they're technically illegal.
They are.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they're not is like a small loophole. And even, you know what's the biggest scam that people don't realize? Beachbody.
What's
And
that?
if you, it's a really big like company. It's like an online.
Sherry's like, what's that?
Yeah.
He
If
wants
you-
in on that.
They make it seem so reason. And this is
Recruit
why
me.
I'm saying this so like strongly. If you look at their financial sheets, they have the average rep makes literally like, I think they said it was less than 10% of what they advertise and claim that they make. And most of the time, the people who are recruited lose money rather than making it. And I'm like, this is written in their official financial documents that you have to like go swimming through their website to find. Sorry, I use it as an opportunity to hit on MLMs because I felt really passionate about this for a while.
I'm trying to join. I'm trying to run one. Sounds like a good.
Let us know if you got hit by a pyramid scheme or like know any, because those
Somebody trying to
stories
get
are
me to join?
interesting.
You know what's crazy about some of them is a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but some of them you can, if you could theoretically make more money just selling the product the right way. But the companies, they pay you more for other sales when you recruit. And it's that whole facade of, oh, we're all a team, but everyone's under you. They're not your team. They make you money. And if they're not doing anything, they don't make you money. And then there's that toxicity amongst MLM marketers to where if all of a sudden you're not about that life, they drop you off their
cut
friends
you
list.
off.
They cut you off. All of a sudden you're not friends more. Like even...
They encourage you to hit up people that are casual, that are your friends, that are your family, to convince them to join. And when like I've watched some of these Zoom calls where these leaders will be talking to their people and they're like, you think that these people don't, it's fine. They say that they don't have $300, but convince them to give it to you anyway. I'm sure that their taxes are coming. I'm sure that they can reallocate it from somewhere, charge it to their credit cards, but they can make it. Because if you want that recruitment like number, then you need to be able to recruit these people. And it's up to you whether they do it or not. It's how well you can convince them. Like, how dare you?
And what's fucked up even more is that there are people who are just all about the MLM life. They know how fucked up it is. They know the environment, but they thrive on it.
Yeah.
And they'll jump from company to company doing the same thing to a bunch of different people.
Is this like Boy Scouts?
It could be.
No, because
No,
Boy Scout. Well, I
no.
mean, technically, you don't even make money from Boy Scouts when you sell that.
I don't. What,
Yo,
in
that's
what
an
way
ultimate
do you
scheme.
mean? No.
Ultimate scheme.
That
Yo,
is
we
an
got a
ultimate
Boy Scout
scheme.
here.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
a
you're
Boy
a Boy
Scout.
Scout?
Wait, what do you? In what way? How would
Yo,
that
they
be?
made you
Wait,
work for free.
did you even get $1 of
What?
any of the cookies you
Bro,
sold?
they made you work for free.
I
They don't sell
we didn't
cookies, they sell
cookies.
popcorn.
Yo, child
No,
labor.
that was
my
to,
gosh.
well,
It's
that was to
on.
raise money for us to go on camping trips and shit.
For their own gain. For their own gain. Yo,
Son.
you probably got some old
Right.
dude, some Mercedes or something.
That's facts.
Son.
The cut probably goes back to Boy
It's on,
Scouts
it's on.
somewhere.
You know
No,
you
but
know,
here's
you know
the
what you
thing,
do when you
what,
go
like-
camping, right? You don't need money for camping. That's the whole
It's
point.
cheap.
You got played.
That's facts.
You got played.
Camping trips?
No, but here's
They
the
didn't
thing.
have
no,
you
no, but
staying
here's
at the
thing.
Four Seasons.
No, but they were buying
Homeless people stay in
hold on.
tents.
Right.
But it was like for everything, the programs, you know, the trips we went on, the uniforms and everything.
Went
Like,
outside,
you know,
bro.
hiking is free too, right? Do they take you on hiking trips?
it's not just that. Like,
Yeah.
We're just teasing.
I'm confused.
We're
No,
just
but like,
teasing.
you
got
guys
scammed,
learn,
bro.
You guys learn a lot of skills and stuff, right? Like
how to tie ropes
how
and
to
shit.
tie ropes.
It's a lot of survival stuff, but it's also a lot of like a lot of the merit badges are just learning about different things out in the world.
And you learn how to
Because the
sell.
No, the cool
There
thing
is a
is I
salesman
actually
merit badge. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you learn how to sell.
You can watch
Girl
Discovery
Scouts
Channel.
is actually
and
really
then-
cool. They provide a lot of like educational tools for girls. We were just messing with you.
I know.
But-
Yo,
I'm just
those
messing
Girl
with
Scouts
Faras at this point.
Girl Scout cookies.
No, I'm still
they smack.
sketched out.
What?
Actually, I wanted to be a Boy Scout when I was little, and then
Yeah, I did too.
And then my dad,
I would
I
do
never
too. I
fell
would be a
for
Girl
a lot
Scout.
of these like schemes that you just mentioned, and I don't even know about a lot of them because my dad, he is just doubtful from the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in, I was like, Dad, like we have to. I don't call my dad Dad. I don't know why I did that.
Baba.
I just went white real quick. Baba, like there's this thing called Boy Scouts. Like my friends are doing it. Like let's go. And then he's like, what is it? And then I was like, there's a meeting. Like let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started. And then the dude was like, all right, for $500. And then my dad was like, let's go. He's like, let's go. This is a scam. And then when we went home, he told me all about how it's a scam. And then he's
Oh
like,
my gosh.
he's like, they're scheming these kids and their parents. It's a business that you don't want to fall for things.
And they're
like
all
this.
going on trips and all this stuff.
And like everything from that point on, like whenever it came to these things, like my brother, he falls for these things really quickly. Like the whole survey thing I told you. Anytime he'd come up, my dad, he shows him, he's just like, this is a scheme. He was just like very quickly like,
Everything was just a scheme for
everything
y'all.
is-
That's how it'd be.
Everything's a scheme. And my dad's like, you work hard for your money. And like when you do it this way, like there's ways to be smart about it. There's ways to work hard for it. But he's like, if you think that you're going to get like, whenever things are approached to you, like the way that they're pitched, you're going to get rich doing this. My dad from the beginning will tell you
Yeah.
that's not what's going to happen.
Wait, how is this relevant to Boy Scouts?
No, it's not relevant. It's relevant to MLMs and being schemed because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Because that's how they present it.
Well, it's relevant to Boy Scouts too, because that's what happened to me about it.
Oh, they offered you money to be a Boy Scout?
No.
Shoot, let me join.
I'm just saying my dad is just naturally like,
Wary of
Yeah.
schemes. Which is smart.
No, it's being wary of get money fast schemes because
Yeah.
anything that's promising you to get you money quick it's probably a scheme.
well, also it was getting in the way of what my dad values a lot, which is like the education. And he's like, is this going to take time away from your studies?
Yeah.
Is this going to like, whatever. That's the way he would see it. Just like, there's a way that you can get a good job and get money, and that's stay in school and do this and this. Like
Yeah.
he's traditional, right?
Yeah.
There was an experience we had like 2-3 years ago or whatever. We were like very into like business and all this stuff. So we wanted to like learn a lot. And then Faras and I came across this flyer and it was like Damon John's class. And we're like, yo, we should go to this. Like Damon John's coming, right? He's a Fubu, creator of Fubu.
Oh, yeah.
Shark Tank. He's a billionaire or multimillionaire. I don't know how much, but he's like, successful
Yeah.
entrepreneur. So Faras and I were like, okay, let's go to this event. It's like free. You can go to it. Faras and I go, and there's like a bunch of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Damon
With
John's
notepads.
yeah, notepads, and Damon John's not there. This random dude comes and he's like, I'm part of Damon John's team.
I'm one of his
Yeah.
sharks.
I'm one of his sharks. Yeah. And we're like, all right, first of all, Damon John's not here. He does this like 20-minute like inspirational speech. It was kind of a dope speech, not gonna lie. Everyone was inspired. And he was like, but everyone there, like, they were kind of like, everyone thought they had $1 million ideas. Like this dude was like, raise your hand if you have $1 million idea. Everyone raises their hand.
Well, also, he shamed you if you didn't.
Yeah.
He's like, well, then you shouldn't be like, it was like, nah, bro, I'm skeptical. You got to convince me. And everybody else, they're like, oh, we're in church.
Yeah.
And this is God.
Yeah. And they're writing everything down. He's saying, he's like, hope you guys are having a good day. Someone will write something. It's like, what'd you
Yeah.
write? Like, there's nothing
Let me
to
see
write.
I'm having a good
I'll
day.
grab that pad.
Yeah.
Let me see what you wrote down.
Yeah. So
Let me
we're-
slap you.
So like midway, Frost and I are like, did we just get schemed? Like, all right, whatever, we'll just stay here. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, what's going on? And we're in the front. I think we were late. So I think we were dead right in the front. And then at the end, they were like, what was the whole pitch? They were like,
Well, it was basically a program. They're
yeah.
going to teach you how to, make a bunch of money.
with your business. Like if you already have a business,
And Damon is actually going to like go over it with you, and he's going to look over it. And after like
Is it
work
me, Damon, or one of his sharks?
No. First you work with the sharks.
Yeah.
And then it ultimately goes to Damon. It goes by him, and then he like approves
yeah.
it.
And I think you pay this amount to be in this like program,
you pay a lot of money.
but they're promising like, okay, if you don't make this amount or like double it in the next 2 years, then you'll get a refund or something like that. So they're like, help you expand your business and increase your
Interesting.
business. And I was like, damn, like what the heck? I wasn't even here for that.
Well, like, yeah, it'll help because they're going to teach you
Yeah,
things
yeah.
and they're going to make you do things like, for sure. That's not, but it's going to be things that are templates and
Yeah.
like sort of things that are like, oh, we'll just connect you to this person. Oh, you're in the food business. All right, go here. Like we
That's
can set
life
that up.
coaching.
They have they have connections and stuff. Yeah, you're gonna do all of that, but you're also missing out on a lot of time. You're missing out on other opportunities where maybe you could have made more than that. Maybe you could have surpassed all that. But yeah, the way that they approached it was just like you walk in, and then at the end of it, it was like, all right, who's gonna be the first one to like do this? Like, who wants to make $1 million right now? Like, hurry up.
And then everyone was just signing up for these courses
Yeah.
and whatever. And Frost and I were just there for like a lecture probably from Damon John.
Oh
like,
my god! Yeah,
Well,
and
we were
sometimes
there.
that's
We
just
were there to
enjoyable.
learn, and
Yeah.
we did. There was some things that we picked up on, right?
that I don't want to be part of that. And like,
because there's
Anything that seems too culty is just a little too much.
yeah.
When
You know what's funny? That same like little stunt they pulled on you guys is the same thing some of these MLM companies will do.
yeah,
They lure you in with a little bit of actual knowledge that you can jot down and write home. Sometimes it's worth going to these classes, but then just dip the hell out because then they're trying to
Yeah.
sell you on a program because they
they'll
lured
have
you
like
with the
these
knowledge.
Yeah.
conventions,
Yeah.
and the same idea of like inspirational talks. They'll have them being there, and they'll be like, they'll have like one person who won a Cadillac. Like, my life has been changed. Like, I get to work with my socks on, or like,
Not with the socks you had on. I better not be.
you always have the example, the success story that's
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Yeah.
they're gonna use over and over and milk the hell out of.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, like you really have to make your own way.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
that's
I
the
say
biggest point out of
work
all that.
hard, go to people's neighborhoods, flash your lights,
Yeah.
be that DoorDasher that Frost was about
I think
to be.
it's important
don't
that we
do that.
acknowledge that like your side hustle won't make you rich, but your passion can. So like, sure, have a side hustle till you can fund your passion and make the money from that.
it also sucks that they trap lower class and like lower middle class people more than anybody.
Facts.
And that should embarrass you.
Yeah.
That's messed up that like you're making them do all this. Like if you're on a level where you're literally a billionaire and you have opportunity, go like raise money, get money from other rich people, and then like find ideas that are really good. Cause don't promise people who don't have great ideas
Yeah.
that they're gonna make it. Cause like why would you put your money into something you don't even believe in?
Yeah.
I get that you can like condition it and change it and this and that, but like if ideas aren't, it's like giving a scholarship to someone who's deserving of it versus somebody who just like fits a certain criteria that like, all right, yeah, like we'll just give money to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like you got to follow. Chummy, you're the guy that says motivational things,
Oh yeah,
the motivational speeches.
Oh yeah, let's hear one.
I need some music.
Be skeptical.
Be skeptical.
Don't trust anybody.
Don't trust anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Don't be part of pyramid schemes.
Mm.
Don't follow trends. Even if your friends are all doing them.
Don't wear weird socks.
Don't have foot fetishes. Dan Schneider.
Don't think cows go too fast.
Because they don't.
They
Don't
really
exaggerate stories.
Yes, please don't.
For us.
Don't make reboots.
Wait. Don't give your girl a promise ring.
Don't be an F-boy.
That's for you.
I know. I was saying.
He tried to save himself with that one. It didn't come through well.
No,
All right, well,
you're
right.
ruined.
We'll end it on that one. Don't start a podcast and pretend to give financial advice. Oh, we have to say, you guys know this, right? We have to say, this is not financial advice.
This is not
That's what the
financial
people do.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
That
This
way
is-
we can't get sued for stocks or something.
But you should donate to our
Or for
Patreon.
manipulating the market.
Just donate to our Patreon.
Or be part of Strange
Like
All
Flavors.
right, you're not allowed to
Similarly.
say that because you're a Boy Scout, so they might think that they're getting schemed.
If you are looking to buy popcorn, Isan sells it on the weekends.
Not
Evening.
anymore.
Isan, you're ruining it.
I'm ruining it, right?
Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world.